what is slightly distancing? And maybe you've seen this around town, on the internet, on social media, or maybe you actually scan this on the table that you're sitting at right now, and I'm live at the restaurant, venue, or the bar that you're at right now. Maybe I'm live right now. And you're wondering, what is slightly distancing? Well, I can tell you where it came about and how it happened and how I happened to come up with it. Slightly distancing is not a magic show per se. It's more of a new method of entertainment, kind of a hybrid of live entertainment and virtual live streaming. And during the pandemic, it was really bad for magicians and any kind of live entertainment because everything across the board got canceled. Groups could only be as much as 10 people. A lot of times we had to be outside, wearing masks, having 6 feet distance away. So that's social distancing. And even when it started to pick up, it was difficult because it was restricted on distance. Magicians use a lot of props. They use cards, sponge balls, coins. In many cases, in somebody's hand, they have to pick a card, and nobody wanted to touch it. No shaking hands, and you would have to, if you wanted to, sanitize them somehow in between sets or in between tables, which is really difficult. Not to mention the whole mask situation. You can't tell if somebody's smiling or frowning. During that time, it was rough because all my gigs canceled. I had a lot of recurring gigs for like Halloween and Christmas that canceled, and I did have some people call up and ask me if I can do the virtual like Zoom shows. A lot of magicians went over to Zoom and did these virtual shows with different levels of success. Some did well, some didn't. And they had to like get backgrounds and get all this equipment, use a Canon camera and ring lights and all these sophisticated light settings and stuff like that. And then they would create a show that a lot of times I don't think was really great because it would lose like the interaction. They were more just doing performance magic rather than the interaction and having somebody pick a card or have free choices and stuff like that. So I started doing a different platform, which was live feed. On a platform actually hired me, and I had to do a certain amount of hours each month, and I would get tips. And at first it was a challenge because just reading the chat was a challenge, and not only learning how to do tricks on camera and see what works and what doesn't work, but just the interaction, how to use the technology, how to use the app, and how to chat with people, and all that, what all that entails. So I came up with a way when things started opening up to be able to do both. I made up these flyers with a QR code, which, by the way, and when these first came out, a lot of people didn't know how to use QR codes, and you had to download a certain app for it, a special app to scan barcodes. So a lot of people thought, the creators thought it was going to take off, but they didn't. Remember, these have been around for like 20 years, maybe longer, and it died. Nobody ever used them. But the pandemic caused more people use them because you couldn't use paper menus, so they would have these on the table. So now people are used to taking their camera out, hovering over it, pushing the link, and then go into a menu. So I created these to go into my live feed. So this would be at a table or somewhere else, and somebody can scan it, and it'll go directly into my live streaming magic show. Now, so that's what it is, and that's how it became about. Well, now I know what you're thinking. Don, the pandemic's over. Everything's opened up now. Why would you still do it? Why still do it? Well, in many ways, I think that slightly distancing is superior to the old ways. Now, I know a lot of magicians out there are going to get mad about that. Sorry. And I hear you. I still do walk around magic, table hopping, but this new method of doing magic has a lot of different benefits. For one, instead of just doing one table at a time, I can do multiple tables or even the whole restaurant all at the same time. So what if you have kitchen delays and you have 10 tables that are all waiting for their food? Or maybe you have a lobby or waiting room full of people and there's a 45-minute, an hour wait, and you want to keep them there happy. Well, I can now, instead of just doing one group at a time, I can do them all at the same time and can try to keep everybody happy simultaneously. So that's one of the benefits. Another benefit is it doesn't take a stage. I do a lot of these restaurants that don't have stages, and sometimes they have multiple rooms. So if I were to like set up a stand-up magic show, not everybody can see it unless they can scan in and they can watch it through their phone. So you can do these weird venues that have different rooms. But all I would really need is a 4x4 area. So I can put a table, I put a tripod, I just have to have access to some electricity so I can turn on the light. Right? And it's very low cost because you don't have to supply the equipment. In most cases, I am supplying the equipment and the customer uses their own phone, so you don't have to buy little tablets or little screens for each table. So it's very low cost. This is another benefit. Still apply it if we ever do, for, knock on wood, if we ever go back into lockdowns or restrictions, it would go with the mandates, because I could still do slightly distancing, no contact, still can wear a mask if I needed to. So that's really good. And you get more exposure. In a lot of cases, when I'm doing the live streaming, you have thousands of people coming through my stream. On average, I get about 10,000 people, global audience, that watch me do magic. And what that would mean is if I'm at a restaurant or a bar, I would give shout outs and say, hey, if you guys are in the area, come on out and watch me do some magic, have a drink, have a meal. Or, if you're not, come some other time. But it's like advertising. It's a way to get more exposure. So it's really good. And it's non-intrusive. As a magician, we all know, you have to approach somebody and say, hey, my name's Don. They asked me to do a quick trick for everybody. And some people are a little standoffish with that, right? Not everybody wants to see it. So what this does, it makes it so they can do it at their own convenience, if they want to do it or if they don't want to do it. They can scan it, maybe have the kids watch if they want to, get a break from that. I have kids, so I know what it is. So anyway, if you're a magician and you want to learn how I do this, I've learned a lot. I've done this many, many times for different restaurants and bars, and I've ironed out the details, and I've had some snags, and it's a learning experience, and I've learned a lot of things about it. So if you want to learn how to do it too, contact me. I'm happy to tell you how to do it or teach you, give you some tips. It's not only for magicians. I think it'd be great for live music, bands to do live streaming. This is great for weddings because this is just basically another service that I would offer instead of Efficient or Walk Around Magic. This is just one more service that you can choose from, and I can do live streaming at a wedding, still be able to entertain everybody at all the different tables, and live stream to your friends and family that couldn't make it. Maybe they're out of state, but they still wanted to attend your wedding or watch what's going on. They can still interact with me and the audience. Like maybe it's a family member. They're like, "Hey, John, how you doing? Good to see you." So it's very good benefit for that. I think that you're going to see a lot more live streaming across the board in restaurants and bars. This would be a great thing for a restaurant, not even just to have a magician, but have like a front person or a spokesman. Maybe it's the bartender. They set up a camera and they still have these on the table and they can scan in and interact with the bar or watch it from home. It's a line of communication between the tables and the waitstaff. Say there's a problem or they need a refill, need some napkins, right? They could say, hey, I'm at table 6. Can you send the waiter over? So I could see that being a problem as far as the entertainment for me doing it. But as far as like a restaurant, that'd be great, you know, for the GM to be able to see what's going on and to have that communication and to kind of manage things or serve their customers even that much better. You're going to see a lot more. There's been articles about live streaming kind of picking up. The apps are getting better. We couldn't do what we can do now even a couple years ago with the different apps. And even like Amazon now is selling products through live stream. They're kind of like QVC on television, right? So you're going to see a lot more of it. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere. If anything, it's going to get better and more prevalent. So anyway, that's what Sleightly distancing is. If you're interested in having me come out and do it at your place, please contact me either through email, give me a call, or go through my website. Again, my name is Magic of Don Z, and hope to see you.